Today we are talking about, is TRT a lifetime commitment? Before I answer that, there's a few pieces about TRT that I have to say. I need to help you at least understand what that is. That is testosterone replacement therapy. This is something that is a real game changer if your testosterone is lower. And that's something you figure out through a blood test. That's something that you have to get with a doctor or a clinic to figure out, because you don't just do it to do it. You do it to get back to the level that you should be at. And so as you age, your testosterone is naturally going to drop, and that's going to taper off more and more the higher in age you get. But then there's also some other reasons why it might drop off. So my testosterone was really through the floor. I think it was the first time I had it tested, it was 160 something. And then after changing diet and trying to change everything, it was 198. And my belief and doctor's belief is it's just from all the head injuries I've had. So any kind of head injury can mess with your pituitary gland and mess with how much you produce overall. And so this is something that no matter the circumstance, there can be all these weird reasons that your rates of testosterone are lower. And that's ultimately what made me decide that, man, TRT is the way to go. That's the direction I'm going to head. Now, why I was so interested in that was because there was massive gains to be made. I'm always looking for things to optimize in my life, right? What can I make better to try to just do better overall? Health, fitness, business, whatever it may be. That's just how I'm geared. For me, I didn't really have many negative effects. I just thought that, hey, I'm not like trimming up and getting in shape as quick as I used to. And it just led me to analyzing and kind of doing a self-audit. This is what I found. And the things it can affect, though, your mental clarity, your cognition, it's the hormone of determination and drive. So it helps deal with stress and anxiety and other things like that. A lot of depression goes undiagnosed as hormone being low, and instead you're getting the SSRIs or whatever they're called, the drugs for depression. It helps with sleep, which then sleep also helps with repair of your body. So if you're trying to get in shape or you're doing anything, your body is always in a state of turnover, so it's damaged and it's repairing. And so it just helps with that process. And it helps a ton with muscle. Like if you're going to age, one of the downfalls of aging, which we're all going to age, newsflash, one of the downfalls of aging is it is harder and harder and harder to keep muscle on. That's also extremely negative for your, not just lifespan, but your health span, your usable time where you can do things. Because if you become weak and fragile, you have a lot more opportunity to get hurt. You just can't physically do as much in general. And so testosterone will allow you to keep more muscle on, which will help make you more resilient to those things. Now, I said I was going to answer it at the end, and I am. Testosterone replacement therapy is a lifetime commitment. It is something that unless you do what I said at the beginning of this that I tried diet and exercise, because lifting heavy and diet can have a positive effect on this. If you can't work natural ways, if it's too low, natural ways are not going to make that change. And this is something that you are doing once, twice a week. It really depends on how people split it up, because I split mine up to try to keep it more consistent versus just one big peak in the week, make it more natural. But this is going to be something that it runs its course. You put it in your body uses that up, and you do it again to get you hovering on that level. What I do think is awesome about this is it starts the process of you caring about your health and then needing to at least do quarterly labs to look at your blood work. And there's so much detail here. So you're thinking like, oh my God, like this lifetime commitment, this sounds horrible. One, it's super freaking easy. You do it yourself. It's minor. It's not scary. Might be scary at first. It is not. It's the most minor thing in the world. If there was more people that were willing to talk about that, you would realize, okay, cool. Now I see. I've got some feedback out there. This is not a big deal. But two, this is something that it leads you down the path of doing lab work and getting your blood checked, which leads to so many other things. There's indicators in your blood work that could be like precancerous. There's indicators in your blood, obviously looking at your cholesterol. I think the earlier you start checking and being proactive with your health, the better. And there's so many different things. Other precursors for soft plaque in your blood, which could lead to cardiac issues in the future because it can become hard plaque. And that's when it's a problem, because when that breaks off, that's when you have strokes and things of that nature. So there's so much detail you find just because you get into this process of being on testosterone and needing that to be monitored because we want to stay at a normal, healthy level. And so if you do go down this road and if you get on this and if you make this change in your life, my biggest thing is I want to firmly suggest to anyone that there's a lot of clinics that just get you on stuff and then, okay, whatever, good luck. You want to be with someone who's keeping you monitored so you can see your blood work, so you can see how you are doing overall. And ideally, it's not someone who's just saying, okay, cool, your testosterone's great. I care about all the other things too. So if you can get more feedback of the things in your body that are determining your health. Like you can see if you're deficient on vitamin D, C, whatever these different vitamins you want to track are, calcium, anything in your body, you can see like how are you doing? Because from a blood work standpoint, a lot of that is diet driven. So there's other things. Maybe I couldn't fix my testosterone, but now I could supplement vitamin D and get that back on level. I can have more calcium intake to get that back on level. I can adjust the things that I can adjust while supplementing the things I have to supplement to be overall more healthy. So I hope this video has helped you. It's answered your questions, but it's gave you much more context of some of the positive stuff this lifetime commitment could cause.